Okay, we are back recording, back out of recess. Amy Hoffman and Melissa are here from Palmer to give us an update on solar project and electric
Yes.
things. Okay.
Want us to come up? Or?
Whatever works for you. Yes.
Well, let me just very, very briefly, because we want to spend time on solar.
Okay.
Just give a little bit of update on Palmer Energy and CCAO program. The electric contracts are coming up in May of 17. Because of energy rates being lower than anticipated, mostly due to the gas rates being so low, we are actually looking at pricing now. And if they look favorable, then, when I say now, I mean in the next 6 months. We're not gonna wait until 17 necessarily, which is what we've done in the past, gone out 3 to 4 months prior to the end of a contract to start the repricing, the renewal. But because rates are very favorable, we're looking at them now. If anything changes and the rates don't come back as we had hoped they would, then we can wait. But gas is at an all-time low. It's helping the electric pricing, and so we want to take advantage of that. And as usual, we'll be bundling many counties together because we have about 30 or so, maybe even more. That
I
are,
think it was actually closer to 22, 25
Okay.
at one time.
well, at one time, but
Yes.
we overall, we have more than that even for 17.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do like 2 RFPs. So all those that are in that May of 17, which is the majority of them, we'll be doing them all in one RFP, and then we will see where the rates come out. Gas, we just did those renewals, we did the RFPs. Stacy has all that information, but for our choice accounts, Volunteer won the bid, and we just found out for the GTS accounts, IGS retained the business, so nothing will be changing there. And I'll just kind of end at that. I know the CCAO is going to be sending out information about capacity performance. It's something that Mark Fry put together, our president, and CCAO will be sending it out to kind of let everyone know. There's been lots of information out there. We've sent some other things prior, but capacity performance is an additional line item cost that will start showing up on your June or July bill. Everyone has to pay it, and it's a formal information about it that you'll be receiving probably this week. But then we can talk further if you have further questions about it. But I'm going to hand over to Melissa Webney, who's been doing all of our solar, and we've given prior some information, and then we put together a formal recommendation because there was one property, that one facility that has the property adjacent that solar would make a possibility of savings and so forth. So I'm going to hand it over to Melissa.
I'm gonna try and keep it as short as possible. Like Amy said, we kind of had identified a facility, the jail, that looked like it would be a good candidate for the CCAO's solar program.
CCAO, the County Commissioners Association of
Yes.
Ohio.
Yes.
Just so people.
Yep,
know.
sorry.
That's all right.
then
And
do you
Palmer
want
Energy
copies?
is the energy consultant.
Thank you.
So what I gave you was our formal recommendation as well as the program information. So like I said, we had identified that the jail looked like it could be a possible facility. You have the land, it had the usage. And what we're looking to do is basically gather as many interested counties as possible and put them on one RFP to go out to bid for a power purchase agreement pricing. So right now, I think we have a total of 6 or 7 counties who are signed on, over 3 megawatts. We're looking for it to be closer to 10 when all of it's said and done. So that would give the buying power to get even better pricing for the facilities involved. It would be ideally at no cost to the county through a power purchase agreement, so a developer owns and maintains the solar panels. We're looking at a ground-mounted array, so as simple as possible, as low in maintenance as possible, which the county wouldn't be responsible for anyways. But basically, the county would be able to tie that solar array directly into the jail's electric service and use the energy that it produces. It's not supposed to be 100% of the energy for the facility, but right around 30 to 35% to help with the peak demand at the facility, which drives a large portion of your electric costs. So like we said, we had identified the jail. Looked like you had owned some land in the direct vicinity. The price to the county would just be a straight, dollar per kilowatt hour, kind of like you already pay for your third-party electric supplies, also through Palmer. So what I've given you is the formal recommendation. It looks like there could be potential savings if the jail was included in that RFP. What the county would have to do is sign a participation agreement with the CCAO, just giving Palmer the ability to put that facility on the RFP and go out for pricing. At that point, it's the county's decision whether they want to proceed or not, whether pricing comes back beneficial or not. There's no obligation to move forward after the RFP process, but going out to get pricing, we do need a participation agreement to give us the authority to do that.
And the cost.
And the cost there, since it's one facility, it's a $2,000 deposit. If you move forward with the project, that $2,000 gets reimbursed. So.
And that's to pay for the developer will be coming, developers will come out and assess the property, do what they need to do. There's a cost involved with that. So that's what that 2,000 is for. It's 2,000 per facility, maxed out at 5,000. And, there's a couple counties that have a few facilities that we're looking at. So there is that cost involved.
So that cost is committed, and
Yes.
like I said, if some reason we couldn't participate because they didn't do the work, that comes back.
Right. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. No, it would not come back.
Participating because.
If you participate,
Okay.
it's all
Yes.
part of
The project.
the project.
Yep.
But if they found that it would not work out, that 2,000 is gone. That's why we did the preliminary recommendation at no cost that Melissa did to see if the numbers are gelling. And of course, Mark Fry looked over everything that Melissa did, and so we're confident that, but we're not solar experts per se, but we know enough to make the recommendation and then move forward with developers.
And the other important piece is, since the county already participates in the electric program, the way you're paying and the fee structure wouldn't change. It would still be a 1 mil added to the price. So instead of it being all on the third-party supply with the one supplier, part of it will be split between that supplier and the solar. So nothing would really change in that regard. You would just have an invoice, but total-wise, that fee structure is still the same.
And the other thing to keep in mind is this is a 20 to 25-year commitment, correct?
Yes, and we know Ohio Revised Code prohibits the county from entering into an agreement that is that long. So built into the participation agreement is a 10-year renegotiation period. At that point, the price could be renegotiated if the county doesn't want to proceed after that. That works too. There would be a buyout clause as well if the county wishes to purchase it at the end. The reason we want to do it through a third-party developer is because there are some tax credits, accelerated depreciation, things that a developer could take advantage of, but not the county. So from an economic standpoint, you almost need to have that third party in there who can take advantage of those tax credits and that depreciation to make it economically feasible. We have seen pricing come in very strong, and with the size of what we're looking at for this RFP, we think it's going to come in strong on our end as well. We have had a lot of developers reach out who are interested in bidding on the project, a lot of state, in-state developers, and companies who would like to get involved in a project like this. So there's a lot of interest from counties, there's a lot of interest from people who want to be involved in the project as well.
And it does work out well with the fact that your current electric contract is ending in 17. And so if we know you're moving forward, that might adjust if we go after a 1-year contract instead of doing a 3-year contract like we typically do. We may go, am I correct in saying this?
Yeah.
Because we want to take advantage of the new PLC and so forth.
Explain to me one more time. You said our electric contract expires in 17.
Correct.
That's an annual contract.
Well, this time it's a 3-year contract.
Okay, 3-year contract.
And it's a contract with a supplier.
But we're committing for how many years? 10 years?
Yes.
To
This
what?
is for the solar project.
For the solar project.
Right,
Which is why you're saying we would possibly go to 1 year on the electric if we were going forward with the
Yes.
solar.
right.
Yes.
So
Once
that,
you gotta
because of
get
that
it-
base is the electric, impacted by the facilities
Yeah.
or the usage.
The usage and the way
Yeah,
it's,
we would
The
anticipate
the way
peak
it's
demand.
used.
Yeah.
The peak demand. So we
Sure.
wanna get that down and then renegotiate the next contract.
Now, the solar stuff this is all new. You don't have anybody, because the RFP is just going out? Or is this
Yes, it's just going out.
This is the first time?
Yes.
for
Yes,
CCAO?
first time.
Okay.
We do, like I said, have 6 counties who have committed to the RFP process, who have already submitted signed participation agreements.
There's a few more we're still.
Yep, there's a few more
Considering.
who we're in kind of the final meeting stages with as far as what they wanna do. But we're hoping to get that RFP out in the next, hopefully, month, and then go from there. The actual construction timeline is pretty short, once all of the permitting and everything's done up front. But this is a construction project, but generally speaking, 3 months maybe for start to finish on that side of things.
So with that being in the RFP process, maybe you said this, if you, I don't know what your deadline is, if you're gonna move up, when you have so many counties, or,
Right now, we don't have a hard deadline. I think we are getting to the point where we will soon implement a hard deadline, but because originally there was kind of a time constraint because the tax credits were supposed to expire at the end of this year, that has since been extended 5 years. So we have a little more leeway as far as getting the project done, so we wanted to allow enough time for as many counties to get involved as possible. But obviously, at some point, we kind of have to say, okay, this is the end of the sign-on period for this first phase. We are anticipating other phases, though, maybe in a year or 2 years. We have some counties who are interested, but just can't make the decision right now. They're not sure what's gonna happen with facilities or land and things like that. But we are anticipating putting a hard deadline in the next couple weeks.
Okay, I have a question. It's somewhat related to this, but not. We contracted with Palmer Energy, or shall I say, the previous commissioners contracted with Palmer Energy, and I think we spent about $900,000 of conserving energy in the buildings that we have, in the county buildings.
That's what CCC.
And my question is as we would potentially look at contracting with Palmer on a new situation, I'd like to see that we justify the savings what we had and what we have done in the past. Is, at the time, I remember, I think it was Earl, made some statements of, we're talking about 35%. You know, if we invested this 900,000, it was roughly about a 35% energy savings.
Okay.
Is there any way, you know, so, I mean,
Sure.
again, it's not related, but it is related.
Right.
If, in my
Same
mind, if
company.
we're gonna look at Palmer to go to the next level, I'd like to justify what we've already spent, somehow or other tangibly look at it.
Sure.
Did we, in fact, this 900,000 we invested, did it reap benefit for the citizens of Seneca County? And I realize electric rates, you gotta look at kilowatts, and, you know, you can't look at cost, because, you know,
Yeah,
that varies. So,
right.
in my mind, I would like to see if you could run a spreadsheet on that, so look at us over the last couple of years. What is our energy savings on the previous investment that we
Okay.
made? And that
Sure.
will help me
And I believe
justify does
John's
it
been
make sense
working
in the
with
future.
Scott Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be Scott Hoffman that we can talk to, because it's a separate company, PCC, Palmer Conservation Consulting, and they're on kind of like the demand side. So they're working with the facilities and where you can save your energy other than per kilowatt hour on the supply side. So we'll talk to Scott and see what they've been doing and see if they can put together a presentation for you.
And you may want to get with Tanya, because that was a question I proposed a couple of years ago when we didn't approve it, but we were the ones that spent the money for
Right,
it,
right.
the previous
Sure.
commissioner. So
Sure.
she's compiling some data. You may want to get with her on it too. But
Okay.
again,
All right.
that helps me justify for us going to the next step,
Yeah.
if it made sense in the first step.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Looks like we've got some stuff to think about
Yep.
and to read through.
Yep.
Thank
All right.
you.
Very
Appreciate you
good.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are 10:40, we will do the bid opening. for the airport
Good day,
ramp
ladies.
taxiway
Thanks, ladies.
project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nadine.
Engineers estimate.
I'm looking. See the bid amount. Let's see, the engineer's estimate, oh, there it is. Okay, this is for the rehabilitate taxiway and ramp pavement project at the airport. The engineer's estimate on the project is $181,514, 181,514.00. My first bid is from M&V Asphalt out of Old Fort. And their total bid amount is $87,308.50, 87308.50. Second bid is from the Shelley Company, and they are out of Findlay, Ohio. And their bid amount is $120,277.05, 120,277.05. Those are the only two I have.
Okay. We appreciate the bids that we received. Those get reviewed by
Stantec.
Stantec. Okay. All right.
Look, did I hear that right? Those are huge discrepancies. 181 is the estimate. We had a bid for 87 and 120.
Mm-hmm.
141 was that. Got it right.
181 according to,
According to the documents, it said 181.
Or maybe it was 181. Okay. Yeah, 181,514.
we had a bid of less than half of that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
We'll have to review that.
Obviously, they have been reviewed.
Yeah, I get it, I'm just surprised. We're usually within range.
Yeah, yeah, a big difference.
The amazing part is when the engineer does an estimate, you know, how really close he is. I mean, I have no idea how work does that.
Yeah. This estimate was done by Stantec, yeah, not by Mark, yeah. Yep, you're right. Okay. All right, well, again, thank you to the companies who put the bids in for that ramp project. All right. That wraps up everything that's scheduled. Note that our next meeting is Monday instead of Tuesday next week. It is on June 6th. We changed that a while back, but just a friendly reminder. Same time, but a day earlier, June 6th, 10 o'clock here. Anything else for the good of the order?
Why don't we move it?
I think it was your request. I'm not sure. Check Tuesday, see what you got going on Tuesday. I don't know.
I'm going fishing, I got it down.
The ribbon cutting for Buffalo Wild Wings is at 10:45, so as soon as you're done, you need to go.
So we gotta have a fast meeting.
A lot of sales tax is gonna be generated.
That's right. Go ahead,
I
Wayne.
motion for that.
So go stop.
Are we finished
Close
before I
the
make the
office
statement, we get off the
What's that?
record?
Wait, no, we're
No,
not.
we haven't adjourned yet.
Move for adjournment for Mr. Zoller.
Yeah, chamber.
I'll
Second.
second
gonna-
that.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned at 10:45. wait till the